Hello, my name is Chantal, and in this video, I will be walking you through how to search for beds in Client Care Search. Any Client Care Search users with permission to search beds will have access to this workflow. Please note that throughout this video, I will be using a test environment that houses test data. While this data exemplifies this tool, there may be discrepancies from what you will see in the production environment. This will impact search results and may not reflect the information input by providers in Client Care Search. Begin by clicking into the Client Care Search application and select the Search Beds module. The Search Beds module consists of search fields, a list of provider locations, and an interactive map of the provider locations listed. Let's turn our attention first to the search options. The first section allows you to search for provider locations based on the client population they serve. Let's suppose that we are searching for a client that is a 36-year-old woman located in Longmont, Colorado. We can also adjust the search range from Longmont, Colorado. Let's set it to 30 miles. For this example, we will assume the client is voluntary and not justice involved, so we will leave those boxes unchecked accordingly. The next search section allows you to find provider locations based on the provider's information. For our example, let's suppose we are looking for a provider that provides mental health and medically monitored inpatient detox services. For now, I will leave the other search options blank, but this can always be filled out depending on your use case. Once your search criteria is set, click Search to update the list of provider locations. Note that the provider locations returned must meet all of the criteria entered. You will notice that this automatically updates the map to illustrate the location of the provider locations. To reset the search criteria you've entered, you can click the Clear button. Let's shift our focus now to the interactive map on the far right. The returned provider locations will be displayed as a pin indicating their location within the state of Colorado. Clicking on a pin will navigate you to that provider location in the list, as well as pull up a window within the map view that outlines relevant information to that provider location. You can toggle, whoops, you can toggle the map by clicking Hide Map or Show Map at the top of the screen. Finally, we have the list of provider locations returned. Each provider location will display the name of the provider location and some basic information, including the address and contact phone number, as well as the care type associated with the provider location and the insurance type accepted. Below the provider location information, you can see the status of the provider location capacity update. This will either show the last update and the average provider location bed availability, or will indicate that the provider location has not yet updated the bed capacity. Finally, the provider location will display a list of the bed types at each unit associated with that provider location. The display includes the genders accepted as well as the current bed availability at that unit. Selecting a given provider location will open a View Information form where you can view detailed information for both the provider location as well as the associated units. This form can also be accessed in a new tab by clicking on the View More Information link. For our example, I will view the information for Johnston Heights. The first section we can see here is the location information. Data in this section is ingested automatically from ladders. The next section outlines the admission information for Johnston Heights. This section can be a great place to get started for reaching out to inquire about a new admission. It also includes a subsection with links provided by the provider location. These links vary from the provider's websites to assessment forms to waitlist information to unauthorized medication information and more. The information provided is at the discretion of the provider location. Finally, we have information pertaining to the units associated with Johnston Heights. Here we can see Unit A prefers to be contacted by phone and stays typically last 14 days. This unit provides medically monitored inpatient detox services and serves a number of populations, including unhoused clients and pregnant persons. This will help us hone in on whether or not this unit will be an appropriate fit for the client that we are serving. We can see the unit's bed information summarized in a table including available beds, and lastly, the last update to bed availability. We'll now return to the search beds results to look at another example. Let's search for a provider location with medically monitored inpatient detox services and that provide Vietnamese language services. Now I will search for provider locations only with open beds. Unfortunately, no results are returned. Instead, I will remove the filter for open beds and search again. I can see that there is a provider location in the list that has average bed capacity in the green, and the last update was 1 day ago. In this case, I will click the Request Update button to send an email to that provider location that will inform them that someone has requested a bed capacity update. Lastly, if the provider location is one that you expect to look back at frequently, you can click the star icon to favorite it. This can make it easier to navigate back to in the future by using the search filter for favorite provider locations. That concludes the search beds workflow, including navigating the search fields and options, understanding the information displayed for each provider location listed, as well as the actions you can take for a given provider location, viewing its information, requesting an update, and favoriting it.